Hey guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Boom Shikha and I welcome you to my channel, to all my videos. I hope that you guys enjoy them and more importantly, you learn from them and are able to use them in your life to become the best version of yourself as much as possible. In this video, I want to speak to you guys about how INFJs mostly like being invisible, like gently invisible, not completely invisible, but gently invisible, so that we can just do our own thing and we're not bugged about it, we're not micromanaged about it, we're not told, what to do, we're not told this is not the right way to do it. We just want to do our own thing and we just want to be invisible while we do it. A lot of times I'll be walking around in this real world, in the physical world, and people will see me going past them and they'll say, hey, Boom, hey, and they'll have to say my name several times, or they'll have to kind of grab my arm before I realize that they're there. Not because I'm ignoring them, not because I am, completely unaware of the real world or the physical world. I am aware of it. I know exactly where everyone is, but I kind of think of it as like they're invisible beings themselves as well. Like they're faceless, nameless beings that are not important to me in this moment in time because I'm focused on something else in my head. A lot of times when I'm walking around the world, I'm thinking about what video am I going to work on next, or what is my novel going to be about, or what is the next step in my novel, or what am I going to write about next. So I'm always thinking about all these things, more important things to me, rather than who's around, who can I say hello to, who can I have a conversation with, because I really don't want to do that anyways, right? And so if they know, and most people now know that I am not going to say hello to them unless they actually say hello to me because I'm in my head, and they're fine. Like they realize that now, and I think they're fine with it. I hope they're fine with it. It doesn't matter either way. And so they know, they're like, oh, they always say, you were in your head. I'm like, yep, I was thinking about something really important. And not to say necessarily that they're unimportant, but the reality is that it is true to me. Like, they are unimportant. I really don't feel the need to speak to them. I don't want to speak to them. If it comes up and they want to speak to me and they have a question, that's cool. Ask me a question, have a conversation with me, quick and easy, and let me get back to my real work, my stuff that I really care about, right? But the only way I can actually do this is if I am invisible a little bit as well. Like I have to be gently invisible. Obviously, it's hard for us to be invisible, especially for me because I'm 5'9", and I'm really tall and I stand out. And the place I live in is mostly white people, Farangs or Thai people. So a person like me who's clearly doesn't fit into either category really stands out. And so I'll walk through there and people will see me and they'll be like, hey, how are you? And they'll always say, oh, you weren't at this gathering yesterday, or you weren't at this meeting yesterday, or you weren't at this event yesterday. And I'd be like, yeah, I have work to do. I have to wake up early. I have a routine in the morning, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, okay, cool, maybe next time. I'm like, probably not, but thanks for inviting me, yeah. So, gently invisible. I just want to walk through the world. I just want to do my thing. I just want to spend time in my head. I want to be in the real world, the physical world, because when INFJs spend too much time on their own, I get no inspiration. I have nothing to pull from. How am I going to write my stories? How am I going to do these videos if I spend all my time in my cave? I can't. I have to be out in the real world. I have to be interacting with people or with the world in general so that I get ideas for what I want to do in my videos or what I do in my writing or what I do in my novels, right? So I completely don't want to disappear. I don't want to live in a cave for the rest of my life. I mean, that wouldn't work for me. But I do want to be in the real world only occasionally and gently, right? Mostly I just want to, if I could just have an invisibility cloak and I could just roam around the world just wearing that cloak and observing people, doing people watching, that would be ideal. But of course, that's not possible. So what I did from when I was very young was that I'd make myself smaller. I hunched over because obviously I was so tall, it was hard to hide. And I'd wear baggy clothes, and I'd wear a hat all the time, a baseball cap, and I'd wear big glasses, and I'd have braces on, and I was like completely I was trying to hide myself. I was trying to become this person who was not noticed by other people. I didn't want to be noticed by other people, but I wanted to notice them. I wanted to sit there and watch people and see how they interact with each other, so I can kind of use all that data for doing all the different things that I do. And I still am exactly the same way. I'll sit in a corner. I'll sit far away from everyone in the corner somewhere with my back to the wall in a coffee shop. And, my computer's in front of me, so I'm pretending like I'm doing work, but I'll just be looking up the whole time and people watching. And if someone looks at me, then I'll just say hello by saying a smile, giving them a smile. But mostly people will just ignore me, right? Mostly, hopefully. And I'll just do my own thing. I'll just write in my journal. I'll work on my computer. I'll do a little bit of people watching. I'll take notes on what's going on around me, and I'll understand the world better because of it. Right? So this is what we want to do as INFJs. Even when we're trying to do work in the world, when we're trying to change the world, when we're trying to make the world a better place, even then we don't want to do it in a way where like fanfare and the spotlight's on me and look at me, what I'm doing. We don't want to do it that way. We just want to be invisible while we do that as well. So if I'm doing some kind of volunteer work, I don't want to make a huge hoopla about it. I don't want to go around telling people about it. I just want to do it in an invisible manner as much as possible. Do it, improve whatever I wanted to do the work that I need to do, and then come back into my cave again. So literally wanting to be invisible most of my life. Unfortunately, or fortunately, either way, however you look at it, for some reason, because of our energy or because of whatever it might be, I have no idea. There's something about our heart or our face or our eyes or intensity in them or the energy that we carry around with us, something like that, always attracts people. And so, as I've said before, no matter how much you try to hide as an INFJ, you're going to have a hard time with it. And I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily. I think it's a good thing because if we hide too much as an INFJ, it's depressing for us. We don't want to be hiding too much either. And so this kind of forces us out in the real world. And I think it's a good thing. We need to be in the real world to do real work, to make the world a better place. And as an INFJ, we have a lot of talents and skills and abilities that we won't use otherwise. We'll just be sitting in our cave crying to ourselves instead of going out there and changing the world in the way that it deserves. And we need to be using our skills and talents. There's no point being put on this earth as an INFJ, as one of the rarest type, if we're just going to uselessly waste our talents and abilities and cry about our talents and abilities not being used the whole time, right? So we need to become a little visible and go out in the world and do our work. And that's the reason that I started doing these videos as well, because I realized that I was spending way too much time hiding and not enough time doing good work in the world, right? There's different avenues you can take. You can use writing, you can use psychology, you can use motivation, you can use whatever you want. But there is a point at which that comes where an INFJ realizes that they've been hiding too much and they've been invisible too much, and they need to put themselves out there again so that they can help change the world in a positive way. Especially now where, you notice more and more maddening things happening in the world where you're thinking to yourself, has everyone on this planet gone insane? I mean, has everyone really gone insane? Like, seriously, what is going on in this world? And so literally at this point, all the INFJs are going to come up in arms and say, okay, I can't handle this anymore. Obviously, the world is losing its mind and I need to do something about it. I can't just hide anymore. And that's when you become uninvisible, or you become visible again. You go out in the world and you do your stuff. Just like I've done it, just like you guys are doing it all over the place. And that's when the real change happens, right? So it's good that you guys are wanting to be invisible. That's great. Be gently invisible and then do your work. But sometimes it's time for us to take up arms and go out in the world and do some work visibly. And that's when we're going to make the real difference, I think. And so hopefully this makes sense to you guys. I hope that I'm not forcing you guys to do it, obviously. I'm not saying that you should do it, but I think that would be a good idea, especially in this world right now. I really feel, as I've said, we are here to balance the crazy in the world. We're here to balance the stupid in the world, so we really need to go out there and really put ourselves out there and do the work that's necessary instead of hiding in our rooms. Because I know that you guys want to do that, and I want to do that too. I want to hide in my room and not go out and talk to people. Of course I do. But it's time to put ourselves out there, alright? Again, I hope this makes sense to you guys. Thank you again so much for watching, for being on my channel, for sending me all this love. I'm so grateful, and I'm just actually surprised at how many non-INFJs are listening to these videos. So I'm really, really, really grateful for you guys. If you guys have any questions at all, you can message me anytime. All my contact information is in the description below, right? Alright, thank you again, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.